speaking of LeBron, we can move on to a topic that has come up with the possibility of LeBron leaving the Lakers at some point, and with his son, Bronny, possibly entering the draft. I believe it would be in 3 years. So we posed the question: would you take LeBron James? Would you take Bronny in the draft over other generational talents if it meant playing a season or two with LeBron on your team? What do you guys think about that?
I want to hear what Capio has to say.
Hell yeah.
No.
Oh, I'm in the middle.
What?
I'm in the middle.
No.
This is perfect.
Okay. Let me explain why. Okay, I get it. Bronny, he's not like a highly touted high school prospect anymore.
He's not. He's 43rd in ESPN, 52nd and 247. He honestly might go undrafted.
Okay. But I think that's a little extreme considering that
if he wasn't LeBron James' son, he would have a significant chance of going undrafted.
I don't know.
I mean, he's shown nothing. He's shown nothing.
I mean, he's got very good athleticism. He's not.
So do I. I'm an NBA draft prospect.
Okay, but all right. Obviously, you're not on the same level as Bronny. It's literally Bronny. But look, but I still have faith because when they were first ranking the 2023 class, Bronny
was top 10.
He was top 10 exactly, but he got hurt.
And now he's falling.
He got hurt. So, but I still believe that he could get somewhere in the middle of that ranking, and then he could be a decent NBA prospect. And if you're a winning team, I would 1,000%.
That's
the only way you do.
That's what I was gonna say. I have literally in my notes, only if the rest of the team is ready to compete for a championship. If your team is built to win now, you trade the future assets, move up in the draft, take Bronny, and you get LeBron to win. But if your team is like bad and you're just at the top of the draft already, you don't do it.
Then yeah.
Especially if you're willingly doing it to pass on guys who you know are better.
Yeah, if you're a terrible team, I don't think you should.
Like if you're a top 10 team,
yes.
Like if you're a top 10 team and you have Bronny ranked as your 30th ranked player in the draft, and you're picking the top 10, you're not picking it because you're throwing away a generational talent.
And there is still time.
A generational talent for a 40-year-old LeBron.
There is still time. Like he still has his senior year of high school and at least a year of college to prove he can play.
There's still a good
gives
amount
other
of time
players
for him
to prove themselves.
That's true. It's very up in the air right now.
I think there's enough time for him to prove himself and be a decent NBA prospect. And then again, a winning team, like a top, like a playoff like even like an 8 or 9 seeded team, like in either conference, I would 100% try and draft.
Say you're the Dallas Mavericks, right? You're 100% drafting Bronny James.
Yes.
Because who cares about Bronny James? You're pairing up Luka Doncic with LeBron James.
LeBron.
Yeah,
it all depends on the team.
It really depends on the team, because if you're the Pistons, you're not looking to pair up a 40-year-old LeBron with a 24-year-old Cade Cunningham. Like that's not going to win you a championship. You're looking to pair up Trae Young with LeBron or someone like that. Like that's what you're looking to do. You're not looking to get a 40-year-old LeBron on a team that isn't already good, because that's what the Lakers are right now. Without LeBron, they're a top 10 lottery team. So
they would be terrible.
That's really what you're looking at.
So I think, they're already like disappointing, but still. But yeah, I think, to conclude, if you're like a bottom team already, then no, I wouldn't draft LeBron, because it would probably only be maybe at most 3 seasons of LeBron.
I would say not even. I would probably say 2.
Yeah, that's being a bit optimistic. But then if you're like a 8 or 9 seed, or somewhat in the mix of the playoff hunt, then I would 1,000% draft Bronny and try and trade up, which is why I think the Cavs would be a perfect fit, to be honest.
You see,
like they have a lot of young pieces that they could give up.
But that's the thing. Would you trade those young pieces for 2 years of LeBron? I don't know if you would.
I would.
I don't think you would.
I think if
for
you're
the Cavs,
It
I
really
don't
depends on what the Lakers are asking for.
I don't know.
Like if they're asking for like
All right,
millions,
would you trade Darius Garland for LeBron and Bronny? I wouldn't.
if it's like Garland and picks, maybe. But if it's
For
Garland and like
40-year-old LeBron, I
Mobley,
wouldn't. I would not do that.
I mean, LeBron.
but if the Cavs
Garland
are
could be
like
like
primed to win a
longevity.
chip,
He
Who
hasn't.
knows if he's going to have longevity? How many guys are playing at an all-time level when they're 40? Who's done that?
Who's playing at an all-time level at 37?
It's still 3 years difference.
I get it, but so he is already like he's already old as hell, but he's still one of the best players.
He's going to be older.
He's still one of the best players in the league, and there is no significant drop off. Maybe you could say in like sort of his health. I guess he's been getting banged up a little more, but from a production standpoint, he has not had a significant drop off in any facet of his game.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like if you're looking at it from the Cavs, I mean, you can look back at the teams that we said with like bright futures. Like you're the Grizzlies, yeah, you're probably trading Jaren Jackson Jr. and a bunch of other guys and picks for him. If you're the Hawks, you're definitely trading John Collins and all those guys for him. But some teams you're just not doing that. I mean, like if you're the Celtics, are you trading Jaylen Brown for LeBron and Bronny? Probably not. Like
I mean, I think it just depends. It depends on how LeBron's doing at 39. So, and if he's still playing at this level, then hell yeah, I would do that.
I
feel like the odds of him playing at this level at 40 years old, he's probably not going to be super focused. I mean, he's playing with his son. Like he's going to want to enjoy it. Like at the end of the day, like I don't think it turns into a championship for a team. I don't.
Okay, sure, but what? I mean, I guess we're going like intangibles right now, but like, how cool would that be to win a title with your son? So I think cool. Honestly the opposite. I think the opposite. He's going to try very hard he wants to play with his son, and he's going to try very, very hard to win with his son too.
I also don't think that LeBron would do anything to jeopardize Bronny's future in the league. Like he wouldn't.
No.
Like he wouldn't force it. He wouldn't try to get him and Bronny on a team that after LeBron leaves, Bronny's not going to succeed in. Like I feel like LeBron would rather play on like an okay team.
Son we're talking about, all
but
right?
That's what I'm saying. I think LeBron cares so much about his son's success that he's not going to be willing to jeopardize that for his own last like hurrah or whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
If LeBron, let's just say, I don't know who like for completely hypothetical, the Milwaukee Bucks, like is Bronny really going to have? Let's hypothetically say LeBron and Bronny go there. LeBronny's not going to have a great future there, like because they're already set up to win. I don't think
he'll
LeBron's
have like no minutes.
Exactly. I think
he wouldn't play. He would not play.
LeBron's going to care to an extent, but I think he'll be okay playing for at least a year on a bad team if it means Bronny having success after he retires.
Fair.
Yeah,
I can see that. Yeah.
I think we can agree that it just kind of depends on the situation because, are you really going to trade your future basically for LeBron James and his son that might not really be that great in the NBA? So you're trading for 2 years of LeBron at most, probably.
Which by the way, this has to be some sort of tampering, doesn't it? Like
a little, yeah, it has to be a little.
This has to be some sort of league tampering, considering that Bronny is not at this point, he is not a top recruit or top NBA prospect. But then this is going to significantly improve his draft stock, assuming LeBron keeps up his production for a season of LeBron, and then for Bronny, who again, I think he'll develop and become like at least a decent prospect, but still that might not work out. So, and he's going to try and go to whatever team Bronny goes to. So this
I agree with that.
Be like, I feel like it has to be illegal.
There has to be something, but I feel like at this point, I mean, what is the league really going to do to LeBron?
I don't know. I just wanted to say that like.
I know. I think it's fair to say.
Right. It doesn't feel
They're not
very
gonna.
right.
I really don't think they're gonna stop. They're gonna stop anything that LeBron tries to do.
Yeah.
It's kind of his league at this point, coming down to these last few years of him. But I don't know. It's an interesting topic that we'll see over the next couple of years as Bronny develops and as other guys in that class develop, and as LeBron either stays the same, gets better, or regresses. It kind of just depends on the team. All right, we can stick with the Lakers here, because they're really not doing well with LeBron, and it's not his fault, but I mean, are they? They're 27-33. They're ninth in the West. Are they going to make the playoffs?
No.
Are we counting play-in?
No. 7-game series.
No.
They have to be in a 7-game series.
They have to make.
Well, do you think they will win the play-in and get into the top 8?
Will they play in a 7-game series?
Yes.
Okay.
My
answer was based on the play-in counting as.
Yeah, mine was too.
Counting as.
Yes,
so
they'll make the top 10 seeds, but they are not.
They are going to make
game
the
series.
Yeah, they are lucky because the teams behind them are just as bad, if not worse, than them.
Yeah,
but they are not good enough to be a top 8 team in the West.
They are not making.
They are going to get
a chance.
Embarrassed by the 1 or 2 seed, whoever they play, whether it's the Warriors, the Suns, whoever they play, the Jazz. It doesn't matter. They're going to get exposed. Because this team is just not good.
Even in the play-in, they might not make it out.
The Clippers have their number.
The Clippers, the Nuggets, I mean, the Mavs, these are not bad teams that they could possibly play. The Timberwolves, these are not bad teams at all that they're going to play. I would take all those teams over the Lakers right now.
I don't see a way.
I honestly would too.
And this goes back to what I've said in the past when we talk about the Lakers. Anthony Davis is the key to this team, and we've seen it. When he's not on the court, they are lost. When he's on the court, they look like a good basketball team. When he's not on the court, they are lost, and they are lost right now.
They have no idea what they're doing, other than LeBron and like Malik Monk. Sometimes,
yeah, Malik Monk is honestly their second best player right now.
Other than that, they are lost, and they have zero energy when they play. It doesn't really seem like they care, to be honest.
They don't.
Not at all.
They lost to the Pelicans by 28 at home.
They
at home
lost.
That's embarrassing.
They got embarrassed.
I have a bet $20 with my friend who happens to be from LA that the Lakers I bet that the Lakers are gonna miss the playoffs, and it's looking great so far that I'm gonna be $20 richer.
It's looking good.
It's very
smart. It's smart.
I don't understand.
It's just not good. I mean,
they have a lot of work to do in the offseason.
I mean, even if they hadn't traded for Russell Westbrook, I still think they'd be bad. I mean,
yeah,
they wouldn't they'd be.
I don't think Kyle Kuzma and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope would really push the needle that much for this team. They're just not good.
I mean, they would be. I honestly think they would be slightly better if they didn't trade for.
I don't know.
But even then, that was like their biggest move, and I guess signing Carmelo. But
hear me out. Hear me out. Am I crazy to say that the Lakers' best chance at like future success would be to trade basically everything, blow it up right now?
I would just say that.
If you trade
I would heavily
LeBron, you trade Anthony Davis, you get so much in return immediately.
I think
you have to at least consider
franchise cornerstones as well as top picks.
You have to at least consider it. I mean, I feel like
well, we've already said you're not going to get much for Russell Westbrook. Honestly, their best piece right now is Anthony Davis. And I think you would get a lot for him.
You can trade. I don't know. I forget if Malik Monk was only a 1-year deal, but if he's under contract,
he's on a 1-year deal.
Then forget what I said, but it's still LeBron and AD and package that with whoever, like Talon Horton-Tucker. I know he's not worth much, but he's an asset.
But the fact that you're not going to get anything for Malik Monk and that you signed him to a 1-year contract just shows like kind of the dysfunctionality of the franchise right now. That was honestly probably their best free agency signing, and they signed him for 1 year. I mean, like
same with like Carmelo too.
Like, what did you expect? Like, because obviously you're signing Malik Monk for his upside, And if you know you're signing for a 1-year contract and he plays well, you're probably not going to get him back.
Yeah, he's going to get a pay raise, and they're probably not going to have enough money to re-sign him.
No, you're probably not.
And they have like no picks. So.
They have no picks. They have no money. It's very, very troubling.
It's looking
in a bad
very
spot.
terrible. Very bad spot.
They're in a bad spot. But we can